Picture yourself on a quiet English hill, the wind whispering through the grass. Beneath your feet, centuries of soil hide a story of violence and mystery, a Roman legion that simply vanished. This is the legend of the Ninth Legion Hispana, a force whose fate has baffled historians for generations. No records, no final orders, just silence. Were they destroyed in battle, disgraced, or did they simply disappear? The answer may lie not in Roman archives, but here in the hills of Derbyshire. The search for their lost battlefield is a historical detective story, piecing together faint clues from the land, old maps, and local legends. Every artifact unearthed could be a breakthrough, a direct link to the past. This site in Hope Valley feels different, marked by signs of a major Roman military operation. Join us as we peel back the layers of time, guided by a leading archaeologist with a bold new theory. We'll use cutting-edge technology to reveal secrets invisible to the naked eye. We'll explore the history of the Ninth Legion, famed for its toughness and shrouded in mystery. We'll weigh the evidence and consider the possibility that we're on the verge of solving one of history's greatest enigmas. Prepare yourself for a story of tactical genius, raw courage, and the haunting question, what really became of the lost legion? The quiet hills may soon reveal their darkest secret. This is more than archaeology. It's a quest to rewrite history. The echoes of a lost battlefield are calling. At the heart of this investigation is Dr. Simon Elliott, one of Britain's top Roman historians. He's not a treasure hunter, he's a scholar with years of fieldwork and research behind him. Dr. Elliott's theory challenges the old story that the Ninth vanished in Scotland. Instead, he points to the Peak District, home of the fiercely resistant Brigantes tribe. He believes a major, previously unknown battle took place here in Hope Valley, a full-scale Roman siege. This wasn't a minor skirmish, but a calculated campaign to crush native resistance. Years of studying Roman strategy led him to this bold idea. The Ninth, he argues, was sent to pacify this region before any northern campaigns. Dr. Elliott combines military history, technology, and fieldwork to connect the dots. He's as comfortable with Roman manuals as with LiDAR scans and muddy boots. His theory reframes the mystery. The Ninth wasn't lost in Scotland, but engaged in a critical operation here. The target? A major hill fort, a symbol of native defiance. This approach shifts the search from the Scottish Highlands to Derbyshire's dramatic peaks. It's a new lens on an old enigma, grounded in the credibility of a scholar who dared to look where others hadn't. If he's right, the story of the Ninth Legion is about to be rewritten. The evidence is mounting, and the world is watching. The search for the lost legion has a new champion. How do you find a battlefield lost for 2,000 years? You start from above. Archaeologists used aerial photography and, crucially, LiDAR, technology that strips away vegetation to reveal the land's true shape. Decades-old photos showed faint outlines, crop marks and soil marks, ghosts of ancient features. But LiDAR was the breakthrough. Millions of laser pulses mapped the Hope Valley, exposing geometric platforms invisible at ground level. These weren't natural. They were textbook Roman artillery emplacements perfectly placed to overlook a native hill fort. The data revealed a Roman siege line, a discovery unprecedented in this region. In the fields of England, archaeologists carefully excavate ancient Roman artifacts, pottery, coins, and weapons. Each find a direct link to the empire's presence. In the lab, researchers analyze these treasures, revealing stories of daily life, military campaigns, and the reach of Rome, transforming fragments into history. The combination of aerial views and LiDAR gave Dr. Elliott a compelling case before a single trench was dug. The sky had given up its secrets, the unmistakable footprint of a Roman army preparing for siege. The question was no longer if the Romans were here, but who they were, and what happened next. Technology had opened a window to the past. Now the ground itself would have to speak. The hunt for the Ninth Legion was entering a new phase. The evidence was mounting, and the mystery deepening. To grasp the significance, you need to know the legend of the Ninth. The Legio IX Hispana was one of Rome's toughest, fighting in Gaul and leading the invasion of Britain. Stationed in the north, they were veterans of brutal campaigns. Then, around AD 120, they vanish from the records. No trace, no explanation. The Romantic theory says they marched north into Caledonia and were wiped out by the Picts. Recent discoveries in the north seem to support this idea, but the evidence is still inconclusive. No weapons, no definitive proof. Some suggest the legion was transferred elsewhere or quietly disbanded in disgrace. The truth remains elusive. None of these theories have been proven. The fate of the Ninth remains one of history's great mysteries. That's why the Derbyshire discovery is electrifying. It offers a new evidence-based possibility. Could the answer be here, not in the mists of Caledonia, but in the heart of England? The case is stronger than ever. The Roman target in Hope Valley was no ordinary village, it was a major hill fort, dominating the landscape. Natural defenses and man-made ramparts made it a fortress. The Brigantes, fierce and independent, had turned it into a symbol of resistance. For the Romans, leaving it intact was unthinkable. It threatened their control and access to vital resources. Neutralizing it was a tactical necessity. The terrain was rugged, the logistics daunting. Moving a legion through this hostile land was a feat of engineering and discipline. A frontal assault would have been suicidal. Instead, the Romans prepared for a methodical siege, bringing their full military might to bear. The stage was set for a brutal confrontation. The Romans responded with terrifying efficiency. They established camps, set up artillery platforms, and unleashed their siege engines. Ballistae fired iron bolts with deadly precision, clearing the ramparts and sowing terror. Onagers hurled massive stones, smashing defenses and demoralizing the defenders. The psychological impact was immense. Warriors used to close combat now faced death from afar. The siege was relentless, day and night, designed to break the defenders' will before the final assault. Roman engineering and discipline turned the hill fort into a trap. The Brigantes were surrounded, their fate sealed by the relentless advance of Roman technology. This was Roman warfare at its most clinical and brutal. The sky, quite literally, was falling. Technology pointed the way, but the ground had to confirm the story. Dr. Elliott turned to local farmers whose stories of difficult fields and strange iron finds hinted at buried history. Systematic surveys and metal detecting revealed a concentration of Roman-era iron debris, fragments of tools, fittings, and possible projectiles. Not the treasures of legend, but the scattered remains of a massive military presence. Roman armies recovered their weapons, but broken tools and spent projectiles often remained. The pattern matched a siege, construction, conflict, and aftermath. The earth was whispering its secrets, evidence of a forgotten battle. Local knowledge and physical finds converged, strengthening the case. The story was no longer just theory, it was written in the soil. The past was speaking, louder than ever. The Ninth's shadow loomed over Hope Valley. No archaeological theory stands unchallenged. Skeptics demand diagnostic evidence, something stamped with the Ninth's insignia. So far, no such artifact has surfaced in Hope Valley. Other legions were active in Britain. Could this have been their work? The evidence for a Roman siege is strong, but linking it to the Ninth remains a hypothesis. The next step targeted excavation, searching for post holes, ditches, and hopefully a definitive artifact. The debate is fierce, but that's how science advances. Dr. Elliott and his team know the final proof may still be buried. The site is in the right place, the features fit, and the story makes sense. But until the ground yields a name, the mystery endures. The search is at a crossroads on the brink of revelation. The world waits for the spade to strike gold. What if this is the Ninth's final chapter? Not a defeat, but a costly, unrecorded victory. Perhaps they crushed a rebellion, but at such a price that the legion ceased to exist. Their name quietly removed, their story lost to time. This transforms the legend, not victims, but grim victors in Rome's relentless conquest. The Ninth's fate becomes a tale of sacrifice, not shame. The Derbyshire site offers a stage for this drama, a place where history and legend meet. The mystery of the Ninth has inspired novels, films, and endless debate. The allure of a lost army endures, drawing us back to these silent hills. The search continues, the questions remain. The echoes of the ninth will not fade until the truth is finally unearthed.